First with breaking news. First with new information. Plus, your first alert forecast. 19 News starts now.
Well, we have one more dry day before our chance for storms works back into Northeast Ohio. So soak up this beautiful sunshine on this Friday night. Tomorrow is a 19 first alert weather day. Thanks for joining us first at 4. I'm Nicole Versansky. Brian is off today. Our next cold front will likely spark showers and storms, a few of which could turn strong to severe. 19 First Alert meteorologist Erica Page joins us now with the timing.
Yeah, so I think what's going to happen as we go through the day tomorrow is there's actually some showers and a few rumbles well to our west. We will likely get the remnants of that come early tomorrow morning. Again, could one of those storms be on the stronger side? It's not, the chance is not zero, but I really think that better opportunity is actually going to come together during the later part of the day because you really need that cold front to come through to be that better focus for some of those showers and those thunderstorms across the area. So the whole area is still painted under that level 2 out of 5 risk. Damaging winds is still our primary concern, but if you get a more isolated storm, not only could that have some gusty winds, some hail, it could also potentially have a low-end tornado risk. That is, again, low end. We will watch it. I do not think that's going to be the likely outcome, but it is something that we are monitoring certainly with all these forecast trends here for the next 12 to 24 hours. Live look from Conneaut. A lot of us have been enjoying some sunshine mixing in with a few of those high clouds. Those clouds will continue to thicken as we head into tonight. Again, all precursors to this rain and storm chance that we will be monitoring through the day tomorrow. I'll bring you the latest hour-by-hour timing of it all coming up here in just a few minutes.
And don't forget to download the free 19 First Alert weather app. Just scan that QR code on your screen. You can get weather alerts for your specific location. It's a great resource to have this weekend and all summer long. A grand jury indicted former baseball coach Steven Smetana of Chardon. He's accused of raping a Parma Heights child. He faces 5 counts of rape and other offenses. Court records say he exchanged sexual texts with a girl under the age of 13 and assaulted her at her home and other locations. Smetana will be arraigned next Wednesday. President Trump is in Wisconsin today to focus on agriculture and the economy. The visit to the state is his first since his return to office. It comes after Senate Republicans approved a bill to fund immigration enforcement agencies through the end of his term. Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
President Trump visits the battleground state of Wisconsin Friday, focusing on farmers ahead of the November midterms.
This bill, as amended, is passed.
It comes hours after Senate Republicans passed his $70 billion immigration enforcement bill.
We're going to fund ICE and Border Patrol for the next 3.5 years so that we never have to do this again during the administration of President Trump.
But an 18-hour vote-a-rama highlighted some GOP divisions, including over the controversial DOJ fund to compensate people claiming to have been unfairly prosecuted by the previous administration. The acting attorney general said the fund would not move forward, but Democrats and even some Republicans introduced separate proposals trying to permanently restrict it. Ultimately, those measures failed.
Does anyone here believe this slush fund is a good idea?
The president has also faced pushback from some lawmakers over Bill Pulte serving as acting director of national intelligence. The current head of the Housing Finance Agency has no national security background.
I see no evidence of any qualifications for that job.
In a Wall Street Journal interview Friday, President Trump said he told Pulte to begin the process of firing a large number of employees in the DNI's office, pointing to holdovers from the Biden and Obama administrations.
He's not going to be permanent because, I don't think he'd want to be permanent. But he's a very smart guy.
Trump argued Pulte's role, which is temporary and doesn't need Senate confirmation, is a good thing, saying you're less shackled. It sort of gives you more power, for a somewhat limited period of time. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
President Trump says he is interviewing 5 people to be the permanent director of national intelligence. The national average for a gallon of gas dropped again, another 2 pennies. It's now at $4.22. It's 9 cents cheaper, though, here in Ohio. The average here is $4.13 a gallon. Now let's check out some of the cheapest places in our area, relatively speaking. Gas Buddy is helping us find some deals. We found it at $3.28 in Greene at the Mapco on Maslin Road. That's one of the cheapest, actually, in the state. It's $3.79 in Parma at the BP on Pearl Road and 397 in Elyria at the Sunoco on North Ridge Road. The group trying to get rid of property taxes had a major announcement today as to whether or not you'll be voting on this plan in November. 19 Data journalist Dan DeRose is here with the news, with the update. Dan.
And this was an ambitious plan put together by really some just community people who are tired of the consistently high property taxes. The group was known as Axe Ohio Tax. They needed to collect enough signatures to get on the November ballot to make this an amendment that said it would abolish all property taxes. Now, I'm sure you're sitting at home saying, I'd love to not pay any more property taxes. We'll talk a little bit more in a second. Here's what happened. They needed 413,000 signatures. They set themselves a goal of 620,000. That way, if some of them that they turned in came back invalid, what happens if you do that, you submit them to the Secretary of State. If they come back where they don't have enough, they throw out all of those signatures that you collected. So what they said they're going to do is they're not going to put it on this November's ballot. They're going to wait until they can collect enough signatures and perhaps put it on the November 2027 ballot. Now, there are groups who are against this. Remember, property taxes pay for not only schools, but police and fire, social services, building roads in communities. So the group who was fighting this movement put out a statement today saying there is no doubt that Ohioans are concerned about property taxes, but many Ohioans are also understand that it would be reckless to abolish all property taxes with no plan to replace the main source of funding for vital local services. That came from Jen Detweiler. She is the spokesperson for Ohioans to Protect Public Services. Again, they're going to try and hold on to these signatures and use them as they try to petition and get an amendment on next November's ballot in 2027. We'll wait and see if that happens.
All right, Dan, thank you. Now to a family stunned by a violent assault. The suspect now arrested, but Amy Hollingsworth is already gone. She died months after the attack. Keith Grant joins us live now from the Summit County Jail. I know, Keith, you spent the day learning more about her.
Yeah, we were traveling around getting to know Amy ourselves. It was clear that she's an animal lover. Every person we talked to stated that. They also said they're devastated by how violently she died. Her alleged killer in the Summit County Jail here. Summit County deputies arrested Adam Richardson Thursday. He's accused of murder, rape, and felonious assault for a crime investigators say happened nearly a year ago. Court documents give a timeline to this violent crime. They reveal a woman identified as Amy Hollingsworth reported she had been raped and attacked by Richardson in August 2025. Shortly after the attack, Hollingsworth was hospitalized for a stroke and blood clot that left her paralyzed. 4 months later, in December, she died. The medical examiner ruled her death a homicide, saying it was caused by complications from her alleged attack months earlier. For Hollingsworth's family, the arrest comes 5 months after she died. They shared this photo with us of Hollingsworth from her funeral. Elizabeth Jackson, the attorney representing her family, Jackson sharing this message on the phone.
No family should ever have to experience this kind of pain and such a violent loss. So
everyone we talked to says Hollingsworth had a deep love for animals, and she owned a dog grooming business in Uniontown.
Hello, this is Amy with Green Family Pets Boarding and Grooming. I'm sorry that we missed your call.
All right, Richardson, the alleged attacker, in court this morning, pleading not guilty to all those violent charges. We have found that Richardson has a violent criminal history. We'll delve into that for you coming up at 6. Keith Grant, 19 News.
Mosquitoes, midges, they are among the most annoying pests this time of year. Midges, they kind of look like mosquitoes. They appear in swarms. They don't bite or sting, but you know they can make any kind of walk in the park pretty miserable. Get ready, they're here, and more are expected as they quickly reproduce. Our Harry Boomer, nature lover himself, joins us live at Edgewater Park, fighting them all off like we all do, right, Harry?
Exactly. I'm fighting them off even as we speak. You said being outside, being by the lake is a nice thing, and it is, except when you walk into a swarm of midges. They do swarm in large numbers around sunset, and they can be off-putting when you unsuspectingly walk into a group of them. When we do that, we end up doing a form of the wave, like, get away from me, but it doesn't help very much.
Talk about pests. Very few things annoy us more than midges, and right now it's their season to bug us.
I've seen they're a little bit bigger than last year. They're starting to come in my car. They're all over the front of it for sure. Walking into my house a little bit, I see them, but they're not quite here in as full effect as we've seen in the past.
Emily Wago was out walking at Edgewater Park, enjoying a midge-free stroll. At night, they really show up, covering windows, being drawn by the light, and they swarm around the outside lights as well.
They really start to nag, all over the place, get up in you. And if you don't be careful breathing, they just swallow something and gag on them.
That's new. There's some protein. Everybody wants protein.
Yeah, some protein. Okay, well, no, it's not too bad yet. But I seen where they just gang up and they look like wallpaper decoration.
Walk too close to bushes or disturb them from resting, and they start to swarm even more. They only live a couple of days. They reproduce and then they die. Where do they come from, and why us, and why now?
Some say it's because the lake is healthy. So I don't know about that, but
well, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
They can be frustrating, especially getting on the front of the car when you're driving. Gotta hit the car wash more often. Trying to get in the house with the groceries, got to be quick to get the door shut before anything follows after you.
Everything plays a role in the ecosystem. It's hard for me to figure out what good role midges play. Be careful while you're driving, too, because if there's one in the car and you start swatting at it, you can put yourself in danger. They can't hurt you, but they surely can make you hurt yourself. At Edgewater Park, I'm Harry Boomer, 19 News.
All right, Harry, thank you. Well, from midges to this, a flesh-eating parasite called the screwworm. It's a fly. It's been found in southwest Texas. So the U.S. Department of Agriculture confirmed a case was detected in a calf. This is the first time the deadly parasite has threatened the U.S. cattle industry in decades. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins told Congress the administration is ready and prepared to address this threat. Steps include a quarantine order in the area where that fly was found.
We have expedited a targeted release of sterile flies in the affected area to prevent the pests from reproducing and are increasing trapping for New World screwworm flies along the border. We are ramping up surveillance and also management in our wildlife.
The Agriculture Secretary says she'll travel to the affected region next week. Now to your top 4 at 4. A fire destroys a home on East 59th off Harvard in Slavic Village. A total of 6 animals, dogs, cats, a ferret. They were rescued from the house and given oxygen. The owner says 5 cats and 2 bearded dragon lizards are unaccounted for. The cause of the fire is still unknown. A Summit County man charged in connection with a deadly sexual assault faced a judge today. The details are hard to hear. Police say 48-year-old Amy Hollingsworth called 911 last August saying she had been sexually assaulted. As a result of the attack, police say she had a stroke, and died. 41-year-old Adam Richardson of Greene pleaded not guilty. He's being held on a $2 million bond. The driver who hit and killed 16-year-old Violet Gustafson in North Ridgeville will not face criminal charges. Violet was a North Ridgeville High School and Lorain County JVS student. She was walking on her break in November from McDonald's across the street to get coffee when she was hit. Prosecutors reviewed the evidence from last November's crash on Lorain Road and determined the driver was not at fault. The intersection is now receiving safety upgrades. The Chicago Bears are moving out of Soldier Field and out of state. The team's board of directors voted they will be building a new stadium in Hammond, Indiana. That's about 30 miles south of downtown Chicago. Deep in Japan's forests, a search is underway for Weston Higginbottom, a 20-year-old college student from Alabama who vanished during a family vacation. Police are relying on canine units to sniff out any trace of Weston. But the forest search ends for now with no answers. The day Weston disappeared, the Higginbottoms were vacationing in a major tourist destination in one of the world's safest countries. But after a small disagreement with his mom, they agreed to give each other some space.
Well, it was scary because that's not Weston. I mean, we don't do that in our family. Even when we're mad, we don't do that in our family.
Strangers have been sharing Weston's photo and distributing flyers to help find him. Police say until they find Weston, they will not stop looking. Breaking at this hour, a Virginia man who is having an affair with the family's Brazilian au pair has been sentenced to life in prison with no parole. Brendan Banfield killed his wife and a man who was lured to their home as the fall guy. Banfield claimed he shot Joseph Ryan after he came across Ryan attacking his wife in 2023. Prosecutors said Brendan and the au pair set Ryan up in a scheme to get rid of Christine. Also breaking, Birmingham police are searching for suspects after a mass shooting outside a home. It left 2 people dead and 5 others hurt. The gunfire erupted last night during a gathering. 7 adults were shot and taken to the hospital. A man and a woman later died. Investigators say more than 30 shell casings were found at that scene. Police have not named any suspects, and so far, no arrests have been made.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast, certified most accurate since 2004.
We have one more quiet day before things turn active again. Sticky air, that humidity is building, and then a 19 First Alert weather day tomorrow. A cold front going to bring a chance for strong to severe storms, potentially damaging winds. 19 First Alert meteorologist Erica Page back with us, timing all of it.
Yeah, so this will likely come through in 2 different rounds. Tonight, by the way, stays quiet and dry. I'm not expecting any additional rain chances back in our forecast for this evening, though as you get closer to midnight, a couple stray showers building over the lake cannot be ruled out. But that's us kind of then transitioning already towards Saturday, and the initial rain chance likely coming in during the morning. The second round of rain and storms will be during the afternoon and early evening, and that comes out ahead of the front. And I arguably think that it's that second round that will give us the best opportunity for strong to severe storms, though I cannot rule out a stronger storm or two if activity to our west can basically maintain some of its strength as it makes its way across our area during the early hours of Saturday. Heavy rain will accompany a lot of these storms only because you've got so much more humidity that we're building in, so these showers become quite productive. And because we're talking about a cold front, my main concern will actually be with that gusty wind threat. However, if you can get a more isolated storm to develop and really get more organized, gusty winds, large hail, that isolated low-end tornado risk, all cannot be ruled out within that kind of an environment. But again, gusty winds is going to be my primary concern with any of those storms that develop. Right now, it's warm out there. Temperatures are sitting currently into the kind of that low to mid 80-degree range. Right now, Lorraine, Elyria, one of our warmest spots at 87. We'll walk you through how much warmer it will get by next week coming up here in the next half hour.
A woman is dead after slamming into the back of a work truck on I-71. The Ohio State Highway Patrol is investigating, trying to figure out what happened. First at 4, Aria Janelle has the story.
This is video of workers on I-71 South near Bagley Road. It's around 11:30 on Thursday night. That's when State Highway Patrol says 31-year-old Christina Rivera drives up in a black car, slamming into the work truck. We're stopping the video here. It's hard to watch. Rivera was taken to the hospital where she later died, and the driver in that truck was hurt and taken to the hospital.
It's really scary. I have yet to meet an ODOT employee that does not have at least a close call story.
The vehicle involved in this accident was from a private contractor. They tell me that safety is a big priority for them. But ODOT has been sending out warnings all summer as their workers do construction at all times of the day. The number of accidents involving their crews is alarming.
So far this year, we have had 52 of our ODOT crews struck across the state of Ohio. That is people, that is equipment, that is vehicles.
That was in April. That number is now up to 58. We can't tell what caused Rivera to crash into the truck by the video, but OSHP says they're still investigating. They could tell us that the work truck had on its flashing lights, and you can see Rivera's car doesn't appear to slow down or try and swerve out of the way. I know these tips may seem obvious, but they really could save your life. Make sure you're not driving distracted. Put the phone down. And if you see a crew out on the highway, make sure you move over to another lane to give them extra room to work. And finally, watch your speed. For 19 News, I'm Aria Janelle.
A 13-year-old boy was seriously hurt after he was hit by a car. It happened near Madison Avenue and West Boulevard in Cleveland yesterday afternoon. Paramedics rushed the teen to the hospital. 19 News, we've reached out to Cleveland police for more details as to what led up to that crash. We have not yet received an answer. The Stark County Sheriff's Office and State Fire Marshal is investigating after a body was found inside this burning home. This was in East Sparta, that's south of Canton. The home on Hudson Drive Southwest was engulfed in flames. You can see the numerous fire crews working to get those flames out. Crews did find the body inside. We do not know yet who that person is, and we don't know the cause of the fire. A Hollywood actor stabbed to death at a home. LA police confirmed the death of 81-year-old James Handy. His girlfriend's son is charged in the killing. Officials say the suspect called police and surrendered when officers arrived. Adam Yamaguchi has the story.
We also get an RA for a male, not conscious, not breathing, suffering from a stab wound.
LAPD officers responded to the scene of a stabbing in the neighborhood of Tarzana on Wednesday after getting a cryptic 911 call. The caller saying, quote, "I am the Son of Man. I just killed the man of sin." When police arrived, they discovered a man, now identified as 81-year-old actor James Handy, in the front of the residence, unconscious with stab wounds to the chest. He was taken to the hospital, where he later died.
The suspect inside the location, male white, 6'2", approximately 43 years old.
Authorities say the suspect, identified as 44-year-old Michael Gledhill, turned himself into responding officers. They say he lived at the home with his mother, who was Handy's girlfriend.
Hey, Mav.
A veteran character actor, Handy has a decades-long list of movie credits, including playing a bartender in the blockbuster Top Gun Maverick, a coroner in Arachnophobia, and an exterminator in Jumanji.
But we don't get bats like that in New England.
But that's what he saw.
Well, whatever it was, it's gone now.
The church says God forgives even the worst sinners.
Handy also has dozens of credits on the small screen in popular shows like NYPD Blue,
Won't take long.
The X-Files, and The West Wing, just to name a few.
I am throwing you a rope. Something I'd like the two of you to remember the next time you're mouthing off on Face the Nation.
The suspect has been arrested and booked on suspicion of murder. Bail has been set at $2 million, and as yet, no word on a motive. Adam Yamaguchi, CBS News, Los Angeles.
New information on a dog dumped behind a Lorraine skating rink, running back to the car that ditched him. You'll remember this video. It was all caught on camera. Charges have been filed, but the dog, now called Skates, spent days on the streets before a neighbor was able to rescue him. And today we got an update from Friendship APL. They say Skates is receiving plenty of love and attention. He still needs time to decompress, but he's starting to show his puppy-like personality. Today, Skates will be entering the organization's Grafton Correctional Institution prison program. He will spend the next 8 weeks working one-on-one with dedicated handlers. During his time in the program, he's going to learn some basic obedience skills like sit, down, stay, and heel, and of course get the chance to be a dog.